Hello and welcome back to the Eastman Sport Report. We are outside American Airlines Center where the Sacramento Kings just absolutely blew out the Dallas Mavericks.
122-98.
Yes.
It was a very dominating second half. The story of the game, though, is Kyrie Irving went out on a left knee sprain and late in the first quarter. It was a very long pause in the game. The whole arena went dead silent when that happened, which I totally understand and totally get. Kyrie Irving walked him, or with two people holding him kind of up on their shoulders.
One of them was Anthony Davis.
Yeah, and they walked him over to the bench, and they're like, no, he got fouled on the play, so he walked back out, made two free throws, which he's standing on one leg, like literally standing on one leg, the other leg's kind of, cockeyed type of thing, bent. Made his two free throws.
Yes,
made the two free throws, but then
the coach walked out to the middle of the court, which then got the Mavericks a technical foul. Now, I don't fully agree with them getting a technical foul to get Kyrie out, but you can't do that in the first place. You should have either fouled really quickly or called a timeout. Yeah. But I agree, it was really dumb that it happened.
Yeah, very, very unfortunate that they let that's the way it had to happen.
Yes.
But that's the rules of the game. If somebody walks out on the court when they're not supposed to, like in the middle of the game, because he made a free throw, so the Kings are about to inbound it. They should have called the timeout, in my opinion. But anyway, that was kind of the turning point of the game. Now, I do give Mavericks credit. They kept the second quarter close. The Kings were able to pull a little bit of lead away. In the second quarter, got up to 12 right before halftime, and then the Mavericks made a bucket, so made it 10 points at the half. But the real turning point of the overall game, besides that, the actual scoring-wise, was the third quarter. The Kings came out, and it started the quarter 27-7. Inside that, there was a 21-2 run during the game, and the Kings just totally blew them out and got this 30-point lead. Ended up getting a 32-point lead.
Yes, it was complete domination. I think at one point we realized, oh wait, the Mavericks have only scored 5 points this quarter.
I know.
That was crazy, and we scored, I think, 27 at that point.
Yeah, it was just crazy how it was like, whoa, wait a minute.
I think the player of the game for the Mavericks was Kai Jones, who was signed days ago.
Today. He was signed today.
Signed today. Yeah. And he was the sixth man off the bench, who was the first man off the bench, came out and scored 22 points. 21 points for the Mavericks. Career high for him. I think 14 in the first half as well. So he was the only person really keeping it close for the Mavericks until he came out, and then the Kings went on a run. One thing that you want to say is that Jonas Valanciunas during the first half seemed to be getting picked on by Kai Jones, who is an inch shorter than him.
But way more athletic. Way more athletic.
Yes. One thing that I want to see more out of Jonas Valanciunas with Domantas Sabonis out in more of these games, dunk the ball. I get you're a really good shooter, Jonas Valanciunas, but
jump.
But JV, you have to dunk the ball. You shot 3 for 3. Your first 3 shots were mid-ranges. You made all of them, and you just kept shooting them. You stopped making them. So dunk the ball. You can just reach over a bunch of these guys and you make it. That's all I have to say to you, JV.
And it was really nice, like when the Kings went on the run, it was not one player. DeMar DeRozan hit buckets, Zach LaVine hit buckets, Keegan Murray played really good with 18 points. The whole starting lineup scored in double figures. The bench, no one was in double figures. Dre Lyles with the most with 9. Jake LaRavia had 8. But it was very even scoring by the Kings, which I think the best iteration of this Kings team is a balanced scoring team. They had 34 assists. Which my line makes a good assist amount. I love to see a team above 30. Yes. And they had a couple games ago where they had 17, which is not very good at all. I want for an NBA team. I want you above 30, so 34 assists is right where I'm looking at from that perspective in the game.
Yes, I agree. My mind just completely blanked. You know what I mean?
There was another interesting moment during the game. So after Kyrie Irving went out, at the end of the first quarter, Monk went directly to the
Mavericks bench.
Yeah, he went to the Mavericks bench and went to the back to the locker room. And then DeMar DeRozan followed him a little bit later. So Monk went off for a little bit later. And then DeMar DeRozan went back almost like is he checking on Kyrie Irving? Is he checking on Monk? But then both eventually came back in the second quarter. So Monk actually got his foot stepped on, and I guess slight sprain, but stepped on. And DeMar DeRozan, I guess, just came back in. So, they checked out, and that was an interesting point in the game, and we weren't sure exactly what was happening from inside the arena.
One thing that I think is the most important thing for the Kings winning this game is that we only had 7 turnovers the entire game. We've had games where you had 20, where Monk had 4 in the first quarter against the Houston Rockets. But going through an entire game with your entire team only getting 7 turnovers is amazing.
Yeah, that really points to the Kings starting to get used to playing with each other. Like this group is starting to understand how to play with each other. Monk didn't have the silly turnovers. I do give Monk, he didn't, but he had an amazing assist. There was an amazing assist where he kind of passed it up straight up the court, like but it bounced right up to Trey Lyles, and Trey Lyles an amazing dunk. Like that was right. I think that was the last part of the 27-7 where it started off and ended that 21-2 run. Was that amazing assist. From there.
I agree.
So that was some amazing points there.
Also, one interesting thing, we tied in the rebounds game. They had 36 rebounds. We had 36 rebounds.
It was 37-37. Either way,
it was fairly close. And for the Kings, who haven't been a good rebounding team, especially with Bontis Sabonis getting all our rebounds, being able to go a game where it's tied and it still doesn't matter because you're blowing them out of the water is amazing to me.
Which was kind of interesting because we were not a great rebounding team especially without Sabonis. But the first 2 games we played against the Mavs this season, so we have now swept the Mavs 3-0.
Yes.
The first 2 games of the season, which one of them was just a week or 2 ago, and we won in overtime with the DeMar DeRozan bucket right in the same arena. We had rebounded the Mavs both games. So this game, the Mavs came back, and I think Kai Jones actually made a difference for them.
Yeah,
The guy they signed, I don't know if he's in G League or wherever, but they just signed him today, and he made a big difference for them. Kind of fun note from the road. So, hey, where Eastman Sport Report is here on the road. We were in Houston last night. We did not do a report from San Antonio.
We're doing Kings stuff. We don't talk about San Antonio Spurs and Thunder games. It was really fun just going there casually to watch the game, though, too.
Yeah, but the funny thing was, we met a family.
Yes.
We didn't actually meet them in Houston, but they were on the Kings Instagram profile, just like our group was on the Kings Instagram profile. They were picture number 1. We were picture number 2 on that. Okay. Yes. We met them in San Antonio, and then we met them again here tonight. So kind of fun. It's the family of Kings.
Yes. The Kings family, the Kings culture that's revolving around them. They're also going around the Texas Triangle with us, and it's just amazing to see the Kings fans just travel with us. They also got to chant "Light the Beam" with us in Dallas.
Yes, that was an amazing Light the Beam. From Houston, there wasn't as many fans as there was more Kings fans in the Dallas tonight.
Yeah, I agree.
Still not a lot, but there was enough that we had a pretty good Light the Beam chant in the last 2 minutes. It's always, we haven't done this on the road too many times because we've been on the road and they've lost the last couple of years. But the way the visiting or the home team fans look at you when you're chanting Light the Beam on their team, that is the best feeling in the world because they look at you and they're so annoyed. But it is the best. They can't. They can't
say anything because you just got blown out by 30 points? You can't say anything back to that. There, when I was getting popcorn in line before the game started, a Mavs fan came up and started trash talking me, telling me how they're gonna whoop us. It doesn't matter if they have Luka or not. He actually said that doesn't matter that we have Luka. Don't have Luka anymore. We're still gonna beat you. And I'm like, okay, bud, good for you. I think I just said okay, and he kept walking, kept talking to me, and I was just like, I'm not it. I'm not part of this. And I'm very glad I did not see him again because I would have talked so much smack to him.
Yes, it is fun to definitely have a domination on the road here. Definitely fun to have a good blowout in the second half. The Kings cap it up in the second half, and then we actually got a Scalabissiere sighting. Doug McDermott got 6 points at the end of the game.
Isaac Jones had 4 points.
Yeah. So the bench got in there. I love the fact that we didn't let them get back into it, kept it up there. And we didn't lead the whole game. Dallas did tie us, but Dallas never led in the game. So we were leading. Our largest lead in the game was 32 points. So a very dominant win here from American Airlines Arena. You have some last words, Max?
Light the beam.
Light the beam!
We'll see you guys next time.